everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title of this video is going to be about architecture. If you are new to my channel, I am Ritika Sarkar, your host and host for today's video, who's gonna help you decide whether you can take up architecture or not. So here's a small disclaimer before we start this video. That is, if you are literally looking out for architecture as a career, you should decide it yourself. This video is just a suggestion from my point of view about what architecture is, what are the pros and cons of architecture, and this does not justify or defines anything. If you really want to know more about architecture, I would request you to watch this video till the end, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel before that. So let's get started with the basics. What architecture is? Architecture is the process and product of designing, planning, and constructing buildings and other structures. It totally is about designing, creating better habitable spaces for the benefit of people and the environment. If you talk about architecture in India, architecture has a program called B.Arch, which is Bachelor of Architecture, which is for 5 years. It has about 4 years of college curriculum and 1 year or 6 months of internship. It totally depends from university to university and their curriculums, whether the architecture is curriculum is for 4 years or not. So if we talk about the examinations that are held to get admission in architecture, there are 2 examinations, which is Nata, which is conducted by COA, Council of Architecture, and there's one more examination which is called J means paper 2, which is conducted by the testing agency. So if we talk about Nata is compulsory, which was not compulsory 5 years from now when I started architecture, but Nata is now compulsory. So you have to give both of these examinations to settle down in architecture. Okay, so let's get started with all the advantages and pros of architecture. So if we talk about designing and sketching, the first point is designing, sketching, and drawing. If you are good at all those things, this is an added advantage to architecture. And even if you're not good in all those things, architecture will improve it. Like literally in the coming years, when you join architecture, your sketching, drawing, painting, and the way you say things will change, and it will make you a better thinker, better imaginative person. Fine. And if you talk about the second thing is communication skills. Your communication skills will definitely improve to a better extent. When I started my architecture journey, I had poor communication skills and I did not know how to convey my messages to someone. I did not know how to showcase my projects and how to do something that will make it look better. But with time, architecture will make you learn that how to communicate your things to others, how to take a stand for yourself in projects. The third thing that is good in architecture is multitasking and time management. So if you are someone who doesn't know how to multitask, don't worry, because architecture has got everything. It's like you will learn how to do time management when the time comes. Yeah, so it's like when you start architecture and do your things in the first year, you won't know what you're doing, but in the second year or third year, you will totally be prepared. Like I have my submissions the next week, so I have to get prepared for it, and your brain will start working accordingly because it will be getting habitual and it will do multitasking at different levels, and you won't even get to know it. So the fourth thing that is very good about architecture is that your self-esteem will definitely boost. Okay, so when I say your self-esteem will boost, it's like in the first 2 years it will definitely not boost, because it's like you'll feel like, why have I joined architecture and is it literally helping me out? But it's not like that. When you come out of college and when you graduated, your self-esteem will be at a good level. So it is really good about this thing. So if we talk about architecture is not just about designing spaces or planning spaces. It has many multidisciplinary subjects included. For example, interior, for example, landscaping, you have urban design, you have structures, you have mathematics, you have physics, and everything that you can't even think of. It has history, it has sociology, it has ecology, and basically history is my favorite subject. So I was very much interested doing history, and that history is not about politicians or some people or any other thing like that. The history is totally about the architecture history of a place. So you will be learning about Rome architecture, Greek architecture, and other things. So if we talk about the sixth advantage of architecture, which is my favorite advantage because it has literally improved me and my things. So the sixth thing is handwriting. So I had normal handwriting, and I was always jealous of my friends who had very good handwriting in school. So when I joined architecture, my handwriting was no as such a thing, but the architecture lettering is different, and with practicing, my lettering has become much better. I literally can now write straight without any ruler. Yeah, ruler. Shit. Whatever. Okay, so let's get to the cons or disadvantages of architecture. So the first disadvantage of architecture is that architecture is a very tough course. For many people who think that architecture is less difficult than engineering, it is totally wrong, because I've been doing architecture since the last 5 years, and it is totally tougher than any other course. It is one of the toughest course in the world. So don't think architecture is easy. Fine. The second thing about architecture being a difficult course or architecture being a disadvantage is that it includes mathematics and physics. Physics will be there in the form of structures. You have to learn how to take out the how to measure, take out the load in the building. You have to calculate the shear forces and other things that you have in physics. When I got to know that they have physics, I was like, what the heck? But then I had to do it anyway, though I got good marks in physics, like in structures, but still I hated that it had physics in it. So let's get to the third point. The third point that is a disadvantage is that architecture is one of the most expensive courses all over the world. It is expensive because of many things. Even if you join a government university, it will still be expensive, as if you have to get all the printouts, which will be very expensive. Like in A1 sheet, you have to get all the printouts, which will cost you around 100 rupees per sheet, or could be 50 rupees per sheet colored if you see. And you have to get all the equipments, all those scales, all the rendering pencils and pens, and you have to buy a laptop, which will cost you around 90 to 80,000 rupees. Because if you get a laptop which is less expensive, then the 3D models will not render, and many of the softwares will not work. So if you talk about the fourth point that is a disadvantage in architecture, is that you cannot complain. See, if you join architecture and in the middle of architecture you want to leave it, or you want to just shout out on anybody, you cannot do it. You just have to get habitual to the phases. With the semesters going on, you have to learn how to handle humiliation, because there will be times when your sheets might get torn up by teachers, and it might happen that your project is rejected and you might get failed in many subjects, because it is really tough to pass architecture. So you have to be habitual about many things. The fifth thing that is a disadvantage about architecture is that architecture is a 5-year-old course. 5-year course, yes. So in all those 5 years, you'll see your classmates, schoolmates, and your juniors get graduated, but you'll still be in college, and you'll still be thinking, when the heck will I ever be graduated? So yeah, that's all. These are the pros and cons of architecture, and I hope you really like this video. And if you really enjoy this video, and if you think this video is helpful, then please give this video a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel, because I'm gonna bring more such videos about architecture in this channel. And also leave comments in the section below whether I should make more such architectural videos, and about what kind of videos would you want me to make. Okay, see you the next time. Bye bye.